Welcome back to Extra Innings on this Monday morning. I'm Taylor Gattoni with the voices of the Lansing Lugnuts, Goldberg-Strassler and Adam Jaksa. Are you two well rested this morning?
We did our best.
Yes.
I feel like the game still just ended like 5 minutes ago yesterday.
Yeah. It's nice to leave the ballpark.
I don't think we have rain today. We're going to have to check in with our meteorologist later, but that rain delay was something for you two and the team.
So this was a long weekend. It was a long weekend of first not playing baseball and then playing baseball, but all's well that ends well.
That's right. Split series with West Michigan at home on Jackson Field. Tell me about the highlights.
Let's go right into yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was a wild day. We had a nearly 4-hour delay after we got postponed on Saturday night. West Michigan took game one, but after we spent, 11, 12 plus hours at the ballpark, Johnny Butler walked it off and Lansing won 2-1 in the late game.
There you go. Extra prep time for the both of you. And yes, going through the first game, second game with William Butler hitting that over. Just tell me about the power behind that hit.
Well, let's look at this right here. So Cole Kahn pinch running at second. Butler wasted no time. And this is Johnny's second walk-off of the year. Roberto Campos, you can't get there in time. Nothing stopping Cole Kahn. First walk-off of the Lugnuts since May, fourth walk-off of the year. Adam, you know that field was wet earlier. Get it a little bit more wet.
Yeah, the irony of the fact that they waited all day to try and clear that off, keep it dry, and it ended up getting wet at the end of everything.
Well, it's time to celebrate, so you must do that.
Jubilation. And you know what? For the final game of the homestand, for the final game of the series against the arch rivals, the Whitecaps need these wins. They're pressing forward. They're trying to chase down the Dayton Dragons. This was oh so sweet. And it's a Whitecaps team that the entire series, their offense had been roaring. They had not scored fewer than 5 runs in any game. So the pitchers looked great, and then the offense came through, and we split the series.
Do you think the rain delay had anything to do with the players' performance?
I actually was worried that it might affect everyone adversely. You're at the ballpark so long. You're stuck inside the clubhouse. What I would say is I'm proud of how the guys responded to it.
Let's check into the first inning of the first game. After a 4-hour delay, there were 3 combined errors from both teams, so it took them a while to kind of readjust, but after that, it was great.
Okay, let's talk about some of the pitchers. How was that going?
So the pitching really yesterday was phenomenal. Jake Garland. And what I liked about what Jake did, Jake went out to the mound for 4 innings, but midway through the top of the fourth inning, Craig Conklin, the manager, went out there to check in with him, left him in, he recorded the final out. Grant Judkins then handled the final 3 innings, and this was, when the team was playing great, this was how it looked. That the offense didn't need to score a ton of runs. All they needed to do was score 2, and that was enough to win.
Yeah, and it's a West Michigan offense, again, as Jesse mentioned. They were scoring runs, they were getting extra base hits, and yeah, again, there's the soaked picture from Sunday night, late Sunday night baseball at Jackson Field.
Our team photographer is Avery Cotel, and that's gorgeous. Danny Batista Jr. with now the empty jug. Johnny Butler is drenched, and that's the best kind of drenched. Right? This is not in April when you're freezing. This was perfect. Luke Mann watching on. That's how we felt. And we thank all of the fans who stuck it out with us the entire way through, all the way to the end. This ended 9:30 o'clock, thereabouts, 8 hours, 40 minutes or so after we were scheduled to start up the doubleheader, and there were still folks there for the very end, and I think they were rewarded for it.
I think so too, and you two kept up the energy, whether you were seeing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and you're halfway out through the window, or you've got the little rally towel out the window too, getting the fans pumped up. And, okay, offense. Yamauchi making his way across the bases. The catcher doesn't catch the ball, obviously, and so he makes it to third base. Talk about the dominance or the drive to get to each base and advance forward.
Well, I think certainly things are maximized when you don't score many runs. And again, we didn't see that all week long. The first 4 games of this series, they were multi-run, multi-hit games. So then it becomes a pitcher's duel. It's a different strategy. Everything is maximized, those little moments of stealing bases or moving up on wild pitches. And you see it takes that whole thing to come together in the 7th inning to get the final run in to win.
I like that you said maximized because we had to tangle with Max Clark and Max Anderson and Max Alba. West Michigan bringing in all the Maxes in the world to try to face us. And now the key question for the Lugnuts is, can we bring this on the road? Because now it's a road trip. It's quite a long ways out to Davenport, Iowa to take on the Quad Cities River Bandits. We're into the final 3 weeks of the year. A week in Quad Cities against the Royals affiliate, then back home, final homestand of the year against Fort Wayne before we close out the year in West Michigan.
the season is coming up to an end very quickly here.
Yes. And so looking ahead to that final homestand coming up in 2 weeks, we've got some big things planned. Shooter McGavin is going to be here. We've got Fan Appreciation Day, so only 6 more home games.
People need to make it out to Jackson Field, it sounds like.
Yeah, there's urgency now.
There's urgency. I think there was urgency before. You two were pressing people to get out there.
Yeah, but we're saying if you want to go nuts, your time to go nuts, you might go nuts without baseball a little bit.
That is all right. Well, we also want to talk about another player for the Lansing Lugnuts who has moved up to the major leagues, Grant Holman.
Yeah, how about this? How good was he with us, and how good has he been this year?
He's been exceptional. He was great with us. And again, we continue to see Lugnuts move up quick and not just get up there, but perform well. And the A's as a whole are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They lost yesterday in the final game of the Bay Bridge Series, but Grant Holman helped them win Game 1 of the Bay Bridge Series.
And the fun thing, as you see, Grant Holman was a Little League icon coming out of Chula Vista, California, threw an extra inning no-hitter in the Little League World Series, blasted an extra inning game-winning home run. He was remarkable, much younger. And then he goes to Cal Berkeley. He gets drafted by the A's. He pitches for the Lugnuts 2022 and last year. And then this year, you could make the case that he's the best relief pitcher in all of minor league baseball. ERA 0.57. Goes into the major leagues, debuts for the A's, goes 2/3 of an inning scoreless. First guy that he gets out was on his Little League team, Casey Schmidt. The Little League teammates facing each other, just phenomenal. But Grant becomes the 191st former Lugnut to reach the major leagues, 191st Lugnuts to work their way up. And when you add in the fact that we have had 9 major league rehabbers, 200 of our 948 all-time Lugnuts have now made the major leagues.
Wow, it always impresses me too, Jesse, how you remember all these statistics. You too, Adam. It blows my mind.
It impresses me too, actually.
It's in the job description.
So with the last 3 series here, and you have players like Grant Holman moving up, how do you think Jackson Field or the Lansing Lugnuts program helps to advance all the players?
I think what we've seen is that the competition at our level, when you come see a Lugnuts game, you're watching future major leaguers. Whether you're watching a Max Clark with West Michigan, or whether you're watching our guys. And we just honored Diego Barrera as Lugnuts Booster Club Player of the Month for July. Whether you're watching a Will Simpson who's leading the league in RBIs, you're watching great talent here in Lansing that you have to remember these names because you'll be seeing them in the majors.
Grant Holman, by the way, is he not the last Lugnut to throw an immaculate inning against the West Michigan Whitecaps? Immaculate inning, 9 pitches, 3 strikeouts. We saw it in West Michigan a few years ago when he was with us.
That's right.
That is impressive. All right. Well, something else I want to talk about, because he's a huge part of the team, Big Lug's special day. You can't forget about him.
So, yes, how about this? We talked about this marathon day, and it's on Big Lug's 28th birthday.
Happy birthday.
How selfish is that river dragon that he makes us spend the entire day at Jackson Field?
So there was an Olive Burger birthday cake. I was trying to get a slice. I do not know if they sliced into it. Things got busy, you understand, but there were mascots there in attendance to help Big Lug celebrate the birthday. Yeah, how about that river dragon?
You can have the rivalry, but it's nice the camaraderie comes together. And, oh, look at this.
Yeah, we had the party hats out.
Everyone's
it was
pumped
delightful.
up.
Balloons.
Jesse.
We're very happy for Big Lug.
He had his cake and ate it too yesterday.
Good for him, and that's what you want for Big Lug.
Yes.
Anything else moving forward when you're heading off to Iowa? You're going to be missing your partner over here.
I know. So thankfully it's only for a week, and then Adam and I will be able to get right back together. But he's got some football games to prepare for.
We do, but it's crazy to think that we only have, 18 games left to go and only 1 homestand left in a couple of weeks. So get your tickets to Jackson Field. 6 more opportunities to see him in a couple of weeks.
I mean, you might see an immaculate inning. We've already seen a no-hitter this year. We might see a cycle. We know that we're going to get some more big things, whether it's giveaways, the appearance by Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald, whether it's going to be other things going on. We might have more players make their debut. Let me point you to Mason Miller, 2022. He only joined us for the last 3 weeks of the year, and now he's in the major leagues doing great things for the A's. So keep your eyes peeled. Stay locked in with what's going on with the Lugnuts, and we'll see what we can fit in these final 3 weeks.
All right, we'll make sure to recap all of it right here on Extra Innings. Anything else that you two want to mention, bringing fans out to Jackson Field for the last home series, not this week, but the following week?
I think the best thing about coming to Jackson Field is the 7th inning stretch. You can rank Jesse's performance every single night. How did he do? Was it a 10 tonight? Was it an 8, a 9? That's the best part.
I strive to keep it above a 6.
Yeah, exactly.
And what qualifies you for a 6 or
I
above?
just don't want to lose my voice, have to cough in the middle of it. Maybe I don't miss too many notes.
On Locos nights, he sings in Spanish sometimes.
Do you really?
Yes.
Wow. That's impressive.
Well,
How much Spanish do you know?
enough. Bastante.
No sé.
Muy bien.
Bien. All right, well, let's translate back to English real quick so
Yeah.
everyone else can understand what we're saying. Unless we have Spanish speakers out there, then they're probably judging us just a little bit.
I don't mind. I think that's good. We've had some extra innings. We had extra baseball yesterday. Es todo.
See. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Go Nuts!
Thanks for joining us on Extra Innings.